Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Ahad Rai Tafarai of the Fruit of Divine Ministry of His Imperial Majesty. And right now we're going to get into the Elohim lesson. Right now I pulled up the Elohim lesson. It's on lojsociety.org. It's composed by Razardonis Wyndham Yadin, Razardonis Tafarai, based on His Imperial Majesty's Holy Bible, the Metaf Kedus. Now this is a teaching on the different names of the devil, and one true name for Elohim. The biblical Elohim is the God, or El Hayel, the power of the seven planes, right, or chakras, seven heavens, the Samayat, right. The Hebrews, we call them the seven spirits, right, that are born before the throne of the Elohim. Right, the seven spirits rule the seven airs or ethers with their forces or powers of life, Hiwit. The very thoughts or vibrations, meditations of Elohim. The true Ha'el are clothed in the substance of their planes. And remember, this dark matter, this dark energy, the dark matter is what's holding everything together, and the energy is making everything is the vibration, right? And yes, there is a unified universe, which means it's one, right? It's harmonic, just like music. It sounds right when everything sounds together. It is not just a so-called theory. It is true theology. The triune Elohim, mind, body, and spirit, who became known as the living God, or the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, breathed forth, and seven spirits stood before his Idus holy face. This is bearing witness to His Imperial Majesty, the Ketamawi, the first, Haile, power, Shalasi of the Trinity, triunity, the triune. So this is the Tabot, the host, right? This is Elohim's host, or the chapel, right? Judah is his sanctuary, right? There is a big difference in the word Elohim and the name invocation of the tetragrammaton Yod He Waw He, right? We know as Yahweh. And a further, that's the actual name. They call that the tetragrammaton. In Hebrew, they call that the Yod He Waw He. I don't have it pulled up right now, but maybe on a later vid we'll have an example. We'll break this down further. So in the further lesson, we will highlight and explain this in more detail. For now, we will focus on the first one for God, right, or Elohim. He in the Hebrew Bible, or the Old Testament, Elohim, right? Literally, Elohim is plural word for gods. You see what I'm saying? So whenever they say God, right, they're lowering his divinity. They're watering down his true essence, his true nature. This is why they just discovered dark matter, or they probably knew about it and just now telling people about it. You see what I'm saying? Or powers or forces. You see what I'm saying? Modern humanity has lost the right over standing, right? We stand over like on that mountain and we're looking down, right? Of these powers or divine powers, right? To the source and the manifestations in creation. In the beginning, Genesis 1:1 in part. So El is the God or power force of the Elohim that manifests in the powers of nature. So all nature, all Elohim's creation, the Elohim that manifests in the powers of nature, that's the power, the force, the source. Mankind in its ignorance has divided this great and primordial unity of the creative El powers and begin to blindly worship each aspect as a different God after the fall of consciousness. Now it's saying consciousness because there's only one conscience, and that's Christos. You see what I'm saying? So that even bears witness to that Christ consciousness, right? And this is even talking about pagan Rome, because this is what they do. They worship Jupiter, they worship the moon, they worship the sun. They've got a day for every planet. You know what I'm saying? They got a day for everything. So now we're going to touch on, in a later vid, we'll touch on the 7 elements or the 7 spirits: protoplasm, earth, plant, beast, man, angel, and cherubim. And there's an 8th also that we're going to touch on. So stay tuned. Shalom.